Every morning when I'm trying to wake up, I like to have my coffee and check out the latest Pokemon graded cards that popped up overnight on GameStop.com. I thought I'd invite you to join me today. Let's get to it. Happy Sunday morning, Fam Club. It's June 29th at 9 a.m., and I'm just checking out the GameStop.com graded cards. First off, I like to come in and look for the 10s in English, so I'm always coming in and filtering on those. And you never know what pops up overnight. I've definitely gotten a lot of great deals on here with some fantastic chase cards. So you never know what you're gonna find, but a lot of people are doing this. So there's you definitely have a lot of competition out there. Currently, right now, I think that illustration rares under that $50 mark are a fantastic deal if you love the artwork. Clobbopus here came up overnight, $52. That's a pretty good deal. Grading is going to be, I know they say it's like $20, but you got to ship it there. They got to ship it back. You're looking at about $25 a card is what I usually factor in. So if you look at the cost of an illustration rare and the time that it's going to take and the $25 per card you're going to have to spend, think about how, whether or not it's worth it to try to grade yourself versus paying $50 for a card that you love. You can often find it. Now, obviously, not every card is going to be $50 or under, but right now I'm thinking $50 and under illustration rares that you love the artwork are a fantastic buy. We got prismatic evolutions, man. I can't stand the prices for these things. I know that they're extremely difficult to get. They're not a buy for me, so I'm not picking them up. I actually think that the Japanese versions are a fantastic buy right now. If you love the artwork, the Japanese version is a great deal and great prices right now. I've been picking up a lot of those. I'm trying to master the Japanese set for all the special illustration rares. Look at this. Quackball EX special illustration rare 46.54. You got to throw on $4 for the shipping. So you're looking at about $50 for one of them 3 starters, final forms in a PSA 10. Personally, I think it's a fantastic deal, and I'm thinking about picking up all 3 of these for my own personal collection in PSA 10s from Paldea Evolved. Meowscarada is going to be a little more, about $65, and Skeledirge is probably somewhere in between, maybe in that $55 range. Look at this illustration rare. Armor Rouge, freaking insane. A PSA 10 for $250 for an illustration rare. Got some other great stuff here. I tend to stay away from these promos that are so common. Now, this is a Pokemon Center one, so it's insane that the one that's not Pokemon Center is a lot cheaper. But, that's out of my wheelhouse. That's personally not something I'd pick up or spend the money on. Illustration rares from 151. I know a lot of you out there are wondering what to invest in from 151. Everything, especially the starters. You got to go and hunt and decide whether or not you think that this card is worth that much. Generally, what I would do is come in, search it up on Google, go to the price charting website. Let's check it out. So this card had a high in the PSA 10 of 306 in the beginning, 337 during the February bump. It had a big low in that $140 range, man. That was the time to really pick it up. It's starting to come back down, so I would be looking hopefully for somewhere under $200 personally. You can come in and look at the PSA 10s. There are some more 151 products hitting Costco and stuff, so there's definitely room for it to fall. 5 days ago, someone got it for $235, $222. If you're in the market for this card, $200 would be kind of my price point where I'd be like, yeah, that's probably about it. These cards will be highly desirable in the future, in my opinion. The big 3, and it's just how bad do you want it, and how long are you willing to wait to see if it hits the bottom. So 223 is actually not too bad because, like I said, somebody got it for about that price, and that's about the lowest that I see. So as far as recent prices, 223 on GameStop is actually pretty good comparatively. Would I like to see it lower? Definitely would like to see it lower. Let's see. We got the Trainer Gallery Gengar from Lost Origin. That's the one with the 3 sisters. I forget their name. I think that's pretty expensive for this particular artwork. I do like this artwork a lot, but this has been on a huge bump as of late, and this is what I don't like to see. It spent all this time around $50, It had a little bump up to about 85, and then it just skyrocketed recently. That scares me. That tells me I don't want to buy up here in this range. I want to buy down here. I'm fine with like the $85 mark if it's a collectible that I really want in my own collection. But this is unnatural to me. It's just way too high. If you do anything, I would go find a raw copy. Find some raw copies. I'd rather lose $20 on a raw copy that's perfect than spend this kind of money because, you know, hey, we all make mistakes. You buy a $20 card and all of a sudden it's a $5 card. Big deal. You buy a card for 187 and all of a sudden it's a $75 card. That hurts. That hurts a lot more. Super cool artwork. What else do we got in here? Let's see. We got regular Pikachu EX for 25 bucks. Entei from Crown Zenith. Charizard Ultra Rares. The Charizard Special Illustration Rare from Obsidian Flames. 300 bucks. That's crazy. Nobody wanted this card for so long. Everyone hated the artwork. I always thought it was pretty nice, but you know, 40 bucks for the raw copy was the low. $200, $215 was the low for PSA 10 for a long time. I guess if you wanted a PSA 10, that would have been a better time to get it. Again, it's not a strong buy for me, not at this price. And GameStop's got it for about $300. And recent sales, I mean, $275 back on $619 about 10 days ago. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are paying $350 for this bad boy. Pick it up for under $300 right now in GameStop. Paldean Fates, Gardevoir, absolutely gorgeous artwork. I don't know if I'd be picking it up for $160. Yeah, it's steadily grinding. 130-ish. 130-ish is about normal. This is kind of crazy, and it's coming back down to normal. I definitely would wait it out on that one. Terapagos, Eevee from Prismatic Evolutions, 600 bucks. Crazy, man. You guys are crazy. Out here buying a Quaxley, 80 bucks. Not bad for a starter. Let's see, what has this been doing? Paldea, Quaxley. Let's come in here. The raw copy, $5 for like ever, $8. PSA 10s, about $70 was kind of normal, maybe 60. Shot up for a while. Interesting. Dropped back down to 90-ish. We're back down to 90. Someone got one for 77, 80, 86. They're not selling often. I don't know if you can see the date. I'm not sure which way I'm going. 626 and 10 days before the last one sold. Another 13 days before one sold before that. It's not moving a lot. I think the artwork is super cute, but definitely there's room for it to drop. Currently at 80. Comparatively, it's an okay price for where it's at right now. It's just not really a buy for me. I'd like to see it lower. Alakazam for 151. For 150. I'm looking for... Now, this is a card that I've been thinking about picking up. This is currently around $10 raw, which is skyrocketing up. It was down in that $5 range for a long time. A PSA 10 was 50 bucks for so long. Why didn't I buy back then? Currently sitting at around 108. It had a bump to 135 in that February bump. I don't know, guys. This card is fantastic with Leon and Charizard. I definitely think it's a long-term huge gainer. Somebody got one for 90 bucks, 95 bucks. 101. You might be able to save $10 waiting it out on eBay, or you might not. Let's pop in. This is one I've looked at a couple times. There's about 4,000 PSA 10s out there, which is relatively healthy, but not insane. There's definitely a lot of other cards. Man, I wish I picked this up at 50 bucks. Absolutely crazy. I didn't have the spare change back in the early 2023s and 24s in order to pick up a whole bunch of those, or I would have. I definitely like this at 10 bucks for raw copies. You see those in a game store and they're 10 bucks and they're perfect. Grab them all up. Every single one of them. Reshiram. I don't get the price of these Reshirams. 400 bucks? That's crazy. Is it that rare? Are people really paying $400 for the stamped version of this? Well, this one says PSA 10s are at 200. So, is this the wrong one? No. GameStop just super screwed up on the pricing. They do that sometimes. Super screwed up on the price, I'm guessing. I love this artwork on Hop Sashin. These Prismatic Evolution stamps Umbreon are going crazy. $300 for a PSA 10 in one of those. Illustration rares. Yeah, just crazy. Prismatic. People are going to be so sick of Prismatic. I don't know. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. They don't know how to price this enhanced booster box topper. Volcanion gets no love. Foy Coco. All right, here's something interesting. Love this Acerola with Mimikyu here from the Trainer Gallery of Brilliant Stars. $82 seems pretty good to me. Let's see. Coming here. It was $50 for so long. Now it's 91. People are paying $88 roughly. Raw is $32. You're gonna pay like $25. That's getting you up to 57-ish, 57 to do it yourself if you can find a perfect copy. 82. It's not awful. It's not awful. It could come down, could come back down to the $70 mark, I would say, or it might not. Are people opening any Brilliant Stars anymore? Not too often. Got that cool airy melodic. Oh, this is really nice. This is Gardevoir GX from Sun and Moon. Hidden Fates. Shiny Gardevoir. What's this going for? Raw is in 22 to 30. 55, 57. People are paying. Somebody just paid $100. Someone paid $80. Anywhere from 80 to 90, I would say. 80 to 90. 75 with the $4. You're looking at around the $80 mark. Super cool looking artwork. It is a 5-man graphics, but it is also a shiny Gardevoir, which is cool. Crown Zenith, Leafeon V-Star, love that artwork. Ooh, a Twilight Masquerade, Enamorous. Not a hugely popular Pokemon. I think the artwork is pretty cool. $40 for a PSA 10 illustration rare. I think the artwork is awesome. If you like the rainbow cards, this Arceus V-Star from Brilliant Stars, PSA 10 for $40. That's quite a deal. Got the Squirtle from 151. How is this as a pickup? I feel like we're in that 151 time where it's probably, I don't know why I want the TCG player. I want to go to price charting. So we can see a PSA 10 hit a low of about $105 here. Hit a high of 223. 168 is where it's at now. Somebody paid 170. I see a lot of 170-ish range. A couple 160s down here in the last few days. 150. There's a 156, a 150. They're charging 150. That's based on what's been happening recently, that is the bottom of what's been happening recently. Could be a pickup. Could wait a little bit, but it's not a huge difference from near its low at the 150 mark. If you're a Squirtle fan and you want PSA 10s of 151 stuff, it's worth considering. Right now. Love this Iona with Kilowattrel, $60, not too bad. I'm not into the full art, so I'm just skipping over those. Whale Lord, gorgeous artwork, but $120 seems steep to me. Charizard V promo from Champions Path Elite Trainer Box, cool artwork. What is this? Dolliv PSA 10 for $246, $273, guys. Who's paying? Oh, look at this. It barely ever sells. See, this is what you gotta be wary of. This sold one over a month ago, and the one that sold before that was 3 months before that. And yes, they were high. So somebody bought at 213 and someone bought at 300, and so they're pricing based off of that. No, it's not worth that. That's crazy. It is an awesome artwork though, and from one of my favorite artists, Oswaldo Cato. So, super cool. But that's insane. No, this should be like in that $40 to $80 mark down here, not up here. That's crazy. I guess it's that hard to grade, and nobody bothers to grade it. And that's why it's crazy. That's gonna sit on GameStop forever, I think. I think a lot of these cards are. This Arbok is awesome. I actually picked up one of these recently, and I think it's not too bad at $75 for a super awesome Pokemon. If you love the artwork, 55 was its low, 130, 85, 72 had a low recently. The last sale was for 72. It's not selling too often on eBay, but 75, 99 is not too bad. I'd like to see it a little lower though. It is a fantastic artwork though. So 2 cards I'm thinking about picking up today is this Irida from Astral Radiance. I just think it's a good value. It's had a low of about $40.50, currently sitting at 65 on PSA. It's not selling that often though. It's been a whole month. One just sold for 65 and it's been a whole month. But GameStop has it for $40 and all these prices are way above. So I think that's a buy for me today. And I'm tempted to pick up this Charizard for $101 today. Just a fantastic artwork in a PSA 10. Lost Origin is not going to be ripped like crazy. And even still, when you do that, you got to get lucky and land on this particular card to get it. Other things that I like to look at is just everything that's come in recently. And I check every day and sometimes a few times a day. So I'm always looking in here to see what there is. I tend to stick to the PSA 10s though. Unless it's like some super fantastic rare card. Like I got the original Moonbron on here one day a long time ago. I personally collect Japanese, so I like to come in and go way back and see what's in here from the early years. This Venusaur is pretty damn awesome. $94 for base set Venusaur in a, well, we gotta look at PSA 8s. Well, I want to look at 8s, 9s, and 10s, but it's easier to look at them individually. Because a lot of times 8s and 9s will be close, and if in this case they're not, but sometimes 8s and 9s are close, and sometimes 9s are cheaper because there's just more of them. So in this case, the 8s are a lot cheaper. Raw, though, it's only a $30 card, and Japanese is, you know, typically pretty clean. I would like one of these in my collection. I don't have it yet. It's pretty consistently around a $30 card. PSA 10 is insane. Anywhere from $700 up to $1,000. For me, for these, I'd probably look for raw personally. Try to find a nice, clean raw copy, maybe at a card show. And I'll come through and check out some of the other years. Here's a cool Pidgeot from the vending series. Shinichi Yoshida. Very cool artwork of Pidgeot. Love these old cards. What does a PSA 10 do? Let's see, $30 for a while. Popped up into that $60 range. Not a lot of sales recently. Like a couple a month, I guess. Yeah, see, 2 sales per month. Super cool for a vintage card. $50. And what do we see over here? Somebody got a deal for 36 here. 23. That's quite a while ago. November of 2024. So 7 months ago. Yeah, it's a little high. If you're a Pidgeotto collector, though, pretty cool pickup. Got some old fossil cards. Love those. Love this File Plume. Nice little swirl on that one from Jungle. PSA 9. $36. I already have a master set of fossils, so I'm going to stay away from spending my money on those. Another card I found that I'm tempted to buy is the Meowscarada illustration rare. We could kick out the Quackleval and the Meowscarada. Let's see, it's had a low of around $50 back in 24, $60 around here. Now it's at 70. Let's see, sells 3 a week, 70, 60, 59. So 59 is about the lowest going back to, I guess, just the beginning of the month. 58. And GameStop wants 62 plus 4, or 63 plus 4, 67. Can it get lower? I'd like to see it a little lower, but I'm not sure. And so let me know what you guys think. Should I pick this one up too? So there you go, 3 cards I'm thinking about picking up this morning. Irida from Astral Radiance, Charizard from Lost Origin, and Meowscarada from Paldea Evolved. Did you see any cards that you want to pick up? Let me know down in the comments if you see anything on GameStop right now that's worth picking up. And let me know if you pick anything up yourself. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video.